Jim here with National VA Loans. The contact us at National VA Loans. It's 855-956-4040. Of course, you can always check us out online at www.nationalvaloans.com. And to stay current with the most up-to-date information, join our YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube channel at National VA Loans. All right, guys. Today I want to go over a couple things, and we're going to do this through a slide program, just because it makes it a little bit easier to understand. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm kind of a visual person, so this makes it a little bit easier. But I want to go over what is the VA home loan program, and what is it? Where are the benefits and the value, and why is it such a great program for our veterans? So we're going to just get right started right away. So what is the VA loan program? Well, the VA loan program was created in 1944. A lot of people know this, of course, already, but it was created for soldiers returning home during World War II in order to purchase a home and, of course, live the American dream. Since that time, the VA has guaranteed more than 26 million VA home loans. And that is, I mean, it's amazing. But what's even crazier than that is the amount of people that don't, the amount of veterans out there that don't know about their home loan eligibility and the options available to them. So hopefully we can solve some of those problems through this slide presentation. Um, so next we've got, what are the VA loan benefits? And man, there are so many. There are so many. We're going to list a couple of them here. I just want you to be able to see. The number one of them, and some of the most important one, is the zero down. It's 100% financing. So what that does is that allows our veterans to be able to buy a home without pulling a bunch of money out of their savings or out of their pocket in order to put it down on a down payment. Most loan programs that people do out there, between either VA, FHA, USDA, or conventional, most of them require a minimum 3% down or higher, or they have really strict eligibility for where the property is located and the amount of income you make. So that's where VA becomes one of those more special loans, because it doesn't have mortgage insurance. It does not have um, any restrictions on how much money you make or your income or where you're going to live. So those are some of the biggest things on there. But let's get into the no private mortgage insurance. Again, that is one of the specialties of the VA loan. It is the only loan out there above 80% loan to value that on the traditional mortgage side, on the qualifying mortgage side, that does not have private mortgage insurance over 80%. So it's a great value to you for a veteran. Of course, lower interest rates, and the reason there are lower interest rates that you get through the VA program is because it is insured by the VA. So they do insure a portion of that loan in case, unfortunately, if a veteran were to default or go into foreclosure, those loans are partially insured by the VA, which allows lenders to be a little more aggressive in their rates. So it makes it really beneficial for all of our veterans. Relaxed loan requirements. Now that one's a little bit sticky. It's when we say relaxed, by that we kind of mean we allow, or the underwriters and the guidelines allow for a little bit higher debt to income ratio, possibly a little bit lower credit scores, and things of that nature. Of course, it's always dependent on your lender, and you can always call us here at Community First National Bank at 855-956-4040. We can give you all the information on that and lower rates and the relaxed requirements to show you what your debt to income ratios and credit scores you can qualify with. No income limits, or no loan limits, excuse me, which is really a great thing. So it allows you to buy a property. We do a lot of VA loans, $1 million and above. So veterans that are out there doing really good and they want to buy a nice house, or an extremely nice house, I guess I should say, then they have the ability to do that with the VA loan with zero money down in most cases. Lower closing costs. And I can only speak for Community First National Bank and us here at National VA Loans, is we try to keep the costs as low as possible for our veterans. We want to make sure that if you're buying a home, that you get in with as little money out of your pocket. We know that you've got things that you want to do with that. I mean, buying a home comes with a lot of different stuff, as far as wanting to um, buy furniture, and there's just a lot that goes into it. Heck, pay movers. I mean, some of us are getting too old. Our buddies don't want to help us move anymore. So we want to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. Uh, VA loan eligibility, what is it? That's a great question. It's one that we get often. So I'm just going to scroll to the next page and kind of go over it with you. It says here, as you can imagine, many veterans have VA loan eligibility. If you're an active duty service member, veteran, or former current member of the National Guard, reserves, you're most likely eligible for a VA loan. Of course, each category does have its own subset. So there's some service time related as far as National Guard and stuff like that. So there's a couple different things we need to look at in there. But of course, you can call us here at National VA Loans, Community First National Bank at 855-956-4040. We'll be happy to explain everything we can when it comes to who's eligible and who qualifies for the VA home loan. Let's see. We're going to go back a little bit. I'm going to take a look at one other one. So let's go here. How much can I borrow using the VA home loan? We kind of touched on that briefly just a second ago, but we're going to go into it a little bit deeper. There's a lot of information here. I'm going to give you a few seconds to read this, but as of 2020, there is no longer loan limits that are associated with it. Back before that, there were loan limits that were in conjunction with your loan limits for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, things like that, or something you may have heard out there, your conventional loan limits or conforming loan limits. That is no longer the case. So the best thing I can say is if you're wanting to buy a house, and right now the conforming loan limits are 647, but of course that doesn't matter if you're a veteran and you're buying a home on a VA loan. But what I would suggest is giving us a call and going over the information with the loan size that you're looking at, and we can kind of take a look at it a number of different ways for you just to make sure that you can get in there with zero money out of your pocket. The next one's a big one. This is, gosh darn, we get this question so often. What credit score do I need for a VA loan? Man, if I could tell you how broad of a question that is, but you'd be surprised. It's kind of crazy and why it's so broad. So the VA in reality doesn't have a credit score requirement. In the VA handbook, which I will not say I've read cover to cover because I just have not, but I have read a good portion of it. And through the VA, there is no credit score requirement for the VA. However, the VA isn't the one that's actually lending the full amount of money. So what you have to look at is what lender you're doing business with, whether it's us here at Community First National Bank and National VA Loans, or if it's ABC lender down the street. Every lender has a different credit score requirement. Now, us here at Community First National Bank, we use a multitude of investors, which allows us to do loans even down as low as a 550 credit score, whereas most other investors are at 620, 640. Some of your larger investors are even at 660 minimum credit scores. We want to make sure that we have options for all of our borrowers. Now, we're not saying that a 550 credit score or a 540 credit score or 580 credit score or even a 640 credit score is going to guarantee that you're going to be able to get a loan through the VA. But what we are saying is we do have those options available. Now, if there's reason that we can't do the loan through and the credit scores are below what we can get approved, then of course we always have a plan. That is one of the biggest things about us is we always have a plan and a way to move forward with things. So what I would always suggest, whether you know what your credit scores are or not, reach out to one of us here, 855-956-4040. One of our VA specialists here will be more than happy to answer any questions you have and go over just really about any of your options. The next one is a very good one, and one that I like, and we get a lot of questions on as well, is how many times can I use my VA loan benefits? It's a really broad question also. A lot of these questions that we get are really broad, and which is great because it allows us to drill down a little bit. The number one thing, and this is one thing that people don't know, especially our veterans out there that have the ability to do these loans, a lot of folks think that they can only use this one time. I just closed a loan here recently for a Vietnam veteran. Great guy, awesome dude. He was in Air Force, just a fantastic guy. And he's never used his VA loan. Now, he's obviously a Vietnam veteran, so he's not 22. So he's sold houses over the years, but he's never used his VA loan. He contacted me and said, I now want to use my VA loan. I don't feel like I'm going to ever have to do a loan again, so I want to use it. And I said, so all this time, when you've been buying houses, you've been putting a sizable amount down? He's like, yeah, I've always put at least 10% down, or I've even done FHA. Honestly, it breaks my heart when I hear that, because a lot of veterans don't understand and don't know. And it's not that they don't understand, it's that they've never been told. And unfortunately, they've talked to loan officers and things like that that don't explain what their situation is. You can use your VA loan multiple times. Folks, you can even have 2 VA loans at one time. Over these last couple of years, we've helped make a lot of veterans landlords also. We've helped them gain investment property through the VA loan. It's a real interesting product, and there's a way that it works. Give us a call, 855-956-4040. Just because you want to buy another house and you want to use your VA doesn't mean you have to sell the house you have currently that's on your VA loan. There's different entitlements, there's different eligibilities, and there's ways to calculate these numbers to make sure that you can still buy your new house at 100% financing, but keep a great VA loan on your current one and potentially rent it out. This year, rents are going to go up, and they always do. So it's something to keep in mind. But you can give us a call, 855-956-4040. We'd be more than happy to discuss that with you, because we'd love to help make other veterans landlords so you can start earning money and building an equity and a net worth. Speaking of net worth, let's go to closing costs. Of course, every loan has closing costs, and a big question. Now, we don't get at so much of what our VA loan closing costs, but we get what our closing costs and how much are they, which is a great question. It's something you should know, and you really want to. It's probably a good question to ask right away. VA loan closing costs are, like it says here, they're substantially closing costs are substantially less than what they are on a conventional mortgage. VA loans have restrictions on what lenders can actually charge for closing costs, which is very true. Lenders can only charge certain things in certain areas that may be charged on a conventional or an FHA loan, to where it can't be charged on a VA loan, which is awesome. I'm very glad that the VA does that. One thing I'll say in going into these closing costs and really how they work, when you're doing a home loan, you have a number of different stations. So you've got your lender, of course, and then you have your title company, which is involved. Then you have the appraiser, which is involved. And then you also have your escrows, or your prepaid items, such as your taxes and your homeowner's insurance. All those are rolled when you see your loan paperwork. They're all going to show up as closing costs. But you need to look at how the breakdown is. What are my breakdown in box A of my loan estimate? What's the breakdown in box B? What items can I shop for? It is kind of confusing, but that's where your VA specialist comes into play. Give us a call, 855-956-4040. We'll be happy to go over it with you. Now, one thing I do want to touch base with, and it's very important for all of our veterans to know, is that certain veterans will be paying what's called a VA funding fee. Now, the VA funding fee, and when I say certain veterans, if you are a veteran that has a service-connected disability rating of at least 10%, then you are what's called exempt from the funding fee, which means that you won't pay that funding fee at all. You won't have it charged to you. You won't be included in your loan. It just is non-existent. Now, if you are not at least 10% service-connected disability, then you will actually pay the funding fee. You will have to pay it. When I say pay it, it does get added on top of your loan. So if you're doing a loan for $100,000, it's your first time buying a house or using your VA loan, then you're going to pay a 2.4% VA funding fee. So your loan amount would actually be $102,400. It doesn't affect what you bring to the closing table. It doesn't affect how much cash you were to get back on a refinance, but it does get added in there. A lot of veterans ask me, Jeff, what is that for, and why do I have to pay it? It's a really, really good question. Number one, you do not have PMI. If you remember me talking earlier, there's no PMI charged on any VA loan. You don't have to worry about private mortgage insurance, which, if you don't know what private mortgage insurance is, it goes directly to an insurer that is insuring your loan in case you were default because you're over 80% loan to value. So you weren't in a favorable position to the bank. Now, VA does not have that problem when it does not have the PMI, and it allows you, of course, to go up to 100% financing. So that's one reason that you have the VA funding fee. The other reason that there's a VA funding fee is, unfortunately, there are issues where customers and veterans do have to file bankruptcy, or they do have to go into foreclosure, and they aren't able to pay for their home. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us, no matter veteran or not. Tough times fall upon us all, and hopefully, hopefully that's never you, and it's never the case. But the reason the VA does have that funding fee in there is it allows, number one, it allows you to do 100% financing, but it allows for veterans to take advantage of that 100% financing. So if there are different if there is a veteran out there that goes into foreclosure and they lose their home, that the VA is able to pay the 25% coverage of the loan. So I know it's a little bit confusing, and it is, but I do want you to understand that VA funding fee, it does go to something. It's actually there is a value there, and it allows veterans to continue doing loans at 100% and also up to 100% on your cash out refinances. So we kind of went over the funding fee there. It's again, it's a substantial, and I knew we were gonna break into it here, so I wanted to go over a little bit further. So we're gonna go into the slide, and I'm not gonna touch on this very long. It's just percentage of the total amount of the loan. First time use in most cases is 2.4%. Subsequent use, so if you were doing a refinance or if you had already used your VA funding fee at another time, the funding fee goes to 3.6%. If you want to get a little deeper into this, feel free to give us a call, 855-956. We'll be happy to explain it a little bit more for you. And we can also tell if you are exempt from the VA funding fee. Typically what I would suggest is if you have any kind of VA disability income or anything similar to that, then you're probably exempt from the funding fee. Okay, so how do I get started with the VA loan process? Oh, this is my favorite question. Why? Because that means we're probably getting ready to buy a house, which is awesome. We want people to live the American dream, and we want veterans out there to get in and buy homes and live that American dream. Make something that's yours. So to get started with the loan process, the number one thing to do is give us a call at National VA Loans, a Community First National Bank. That's numbers 855-956-4040. One of our senior VA specialists here will give you a definite. What we'll do is we'll allow you to go ahead and do an application. We'll be able to process the loan for you. We'll be able to give you all your options, give you different payments at different loan terms. We'll be able to show you different loan amounts in case you're looking at a house, you're not sure where your budget is or where you want it to be. We'll be able to break all that down for you and show you all the different numbers. It's really fantastic when you can get on the phone with someone and talk with them and go over some different options, because not every loan is the same and not every customer is the same and not every veteran is the same. So we want to detail and give you a personalized experience to make sure that we get the right loan for you. Of course, if you'd like to get started if you'd like to go ahead and fill out an application, you're more than welcome to do that. You can actually fill out the application at www.nationalapplynow.com. So that's nationalapplynow.com. And you can actually complete the mortgage application there, and then one of our VA specialists will get back to you immediately to go over your different options. Guys, of course, with everything, I always say, make sure you're doing your home loan, whatever it is, whether it be purchase or refinance. Make sure you're doing it with a professional. Make sure you're the people that have time to sit down and talk with you. Go over all your different options, find out a program that's going to work best for you. And in 99.9% of the time, if you're a veteran, a VA loan is going to be best for you. It's going to be an awesome program for you because it couples a number of things, and we'll kind of recap it here. 100% financing available, which is amazing. You've got no PMI, which is even better. You have rates that are lower than your typical standard FHA or conventional loan. So rates that are lower, 100% financing, which means less money out of your pocket, and no private mortgage insurance, which can save you upwards of $200, $300, $400 in some cases dollars a month. It's a fantastic program, folks, and I hope more of our veterans out there take advantage of it, because I can tell you right now, you earned it. You deserve it. So take advantage of the program. Look us up, nationalvaloans.com. So that's www.nationalvaloans.com, or give us a call, 855-956-4040. One of our VA specialists will take great care of you, answer all your questions, and get you on the road to home ownership. Until next time, thank you for your service. This country is nothing without you. I can't tell you how much we appreciate your service. Until next time, folks, God bless and take care.